Thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting us. But if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please encourage us by doing so. Fulani terrorist negotiator Mamu and the criminal DSS DG Yusuf Bichi lament that Igbos are Fulani greatest nightmare because they have refused to surrender to the Fulani Janjaweed and become their slaves. This was after the criminal DSS DG Yusuf Bichi collected his part of share from the Fulani terrorist bandit kidnap ransom business. They are angry that Igbos have refused the Fulani terrorist bandit to operate freely in Biafra land. Because if that had happened, by now, the Fulani terrorist kidnapping business will be booming seriously. Booming seriously. My brothers and my sisters, no wonder the criminal Fulani DSS terrorists sees Igbos who wants to leave Nigeria as terrorists, while the real terrorists, mass murderers, are enjoying unlimited freedom in the zoo called Nigeria. The useless criminal DSS Director General Yusuf Bichi he did not withdraw ﷺ ÇNİGTMARE and Sunday Igboho's cases for merely fighting for freedom of their people. But he went ahead to withdraw the case of a Fulani terrorist and self-acclaimed Kaduna-trained terrorist negotiator because Fulani Janjaweed terrorists are above the law as Fulanis. What is the rationale for holding ﷺ ÇNİGTMARE, Sunday Igboho? What's the rationale? So the Fulani terrorists, Manu, with all indictments, will now walk freely back to continue his Fulani terrorist banditry kidnapping business. The foolish and fraudulent politics being practiced in the zoo called Nigeria is not only dirty, but also useless, where known fraudsters like Hopeless Uzodinjo are being appointed by Supreme Court as a governor of a state, someone who came forth, where known criminals and jihad terrorists like BUHARI impostor are being selected as president, where drug lords like Tinubu are respected politicians instead of serving their jail terms, where Fulani terrorists, Boko Haram and Islamic State terrorists are members of Nigerian security agencies, killing innocent Biafrans and setting their homes and businesses on fire for committing no offense other than asking for freedom for their people. But mass murderers are either released or allowed to break jails in order to free their Fulani terrorists. Now, the useless zoo nation is supporting a sick drug lord who goes about stealing everything from public assets to people's identities and childhood memories. This is not what we Biafrans want. We need our own separate nation we need our own separate sovereign nation of Biafra. We can no longer cohabit with the Fulani Janjaweed. We cannot. They have taken us aback a lot. We want to move forward. We don't want to continue to coexist with people who dislike to move forward. We don't want to cohabit with a tribe that loves killing, that are bloodthirsty. We don't want it. We want to move forward and develop at a rapid rate. You know, the criminal DSS suit against ﷺİİ, the Fulani terrorist negotiator, was withdrawn by the same criminal DSS holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention, a solitary confinement cell, illegally. After the court, the second highest court of the nation, set him free. They are still holding him. According to report, the suit between the criminal DSS and the Fulani terrorists, ﷺİİ, was listed for further proceeding on the day's case list. Upon resuming hearing, Mr. Dan Lami, who sought to withdraw the case, said that the matter has been overtaken by events. DSS wishes to withdraw the suit. Following the application, the Fulani judge, Justice Maha, struck out the suit. The criminal DSS, through its lawyer, Ahmed Magaji, had on September 13 moved a motion ex parte which sought an order of the court to detain the Fulani terrorist Manu for 60 more days in the first instance, pending the conclusion of its investigation. But the criminal DSS, in the affidavit in support of the ex parte motion, alleged that its preliminary investigation established the offenses of logistics supply, aiding and abetting act of terrorism against Fulani terrorist ﷺİİ. But after the Fulani terrorists settled the criminal DSS DG with his own part of the ransom money, they changed tone. Tone changed. You know, the problem with Manu and the criminal DSS was because of their sharing formula, unknown to the general public. Sharing formula was the problem. They were giving him 10%, and he wanted the money increased to 30%. And that was why he tried to arrest Manu for shortchanging him. You know, it is alleged, according to the criminal DSS, that the investigation established acts of terrorism financing against the terrorist negotiator, ﷺİİ. It was alleged that Mr. Manu, the self-acclaimed Kaduna-trained Fulani terrorist negotiator, exploited the opportunity to perpetrate, aid and abet as well as render support to both local and international terrorist organizations, among others. And the criminal DSS had warned Nigerians over making comments on the arrest of the Fulani terrorist ﷺİİ. The criminal DSS, in a statement by its Efulefu spokesman, Peter Afunanya, asked the public to leave the agency alone and allow it to concentrate on the investigation, which is said the outcome had been mind-blogging. This came hours after the Islamic terrorist cleric Sheikh Gumi, to whom Nh22 is an aide, has faulted the arrest of the Fulani terrorist negotiator. But the Fulani Nigerian government that refused to obey appeal court order to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are quick to withdraw a case for a Fulani terrorist and sponsor. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters, for watching this video. And bye-bye for now. And God bless Biafra. He say.